Hello and welcome to our first episode of our Create World. So we want to build probably the biggest, the prettiest and the most ridiculous world you will ever see. Anyway, first off I have to make a confession. Our audio file unfortunately got corrupted, so I have to re-record everything. So the first steps are the same as always. We need to gather some wood and we need to gather some stone so we can make our first tools. Unfortunately, we have to endure the whole night at our spawn location, but we gathered some food, as you can see, some sweet berries, some iron and some copper. The next day we went on an exploration and killed some sheep on the way, so we can have some wool to make some beds. We found a really big cave with a ton of resources. So we thought we should set our spawn here and put a chest down, and we can gather any resources we will need for the beginning of our world. As we want to keep our inventory relatively empty, we put all the stuff we won't need on a chest and start to explore the cave. We killed some skeletons, we light it up to prevent spawning from happening. And we gathered some coal, we have gathered some copper as well, and we have gathered a ton of iron for the beginning. We found some dripstone as well and our first diamond. Then we constructed a smelting system and just smelt all ores that we found, especially the iron and the gold. So we are now relatively armored and we have some food for searching our location for the starter base. So we grab all our stuff and went on an adventure. On our way, we actually found some dogs and I think they are really cute. I mean, look at him! Look at my dog. I give Erdbeerkäse some bones so she could get a dog for herself, and then we have 2 more friends for our adventure. So next off, we actually found a village, and of course we looted it, and our dogs are pretty happy. And we found some bread, we found some rice. It's actually from the Farmer's Delight mod. If you don't know, I guess we will write our mods that we are using in this world down in the description below, so you can check it out if you want. Of course, we saved at least 2 villagers, so we can use them later on to make a villager breeder and maybe some farms, but I guess I'm not a huge fan of villager farms because in Create mod you don't need them actually. But if we want to have mending or unbreaking, we could make a little villager trading hall later on. So we went a little bit further and we found a dark forest and a little nice beach location. So in this location we want to create our starter bases and our first contraptions. So the first thing I needed to do is to look around the location and see what stuff we could get here. So I took my dog and went down in the cave, and actually I find some mobs on the way, but my little helper, my little sweet dog, as you can see, just comes around and kills them. And it's pretty ridiculous because he's so small. I mean, look at him. Of course, I also helped him so he doesn't get hurt. And after that, I give him a little bit of treatment. a treat so he could heal a little bit up. And then I explored the cave in our location, and I start to gather a ton of andesite because we will need a lot of it for our first contraptions. By farming it, I actually found a lush cave, so I could grab some glowberries and some moss. Always nice to have for decoration and stuff. And then I got back up. I sitted my dog down here so he can't teleport to me, and he will be safer up here, I guess. Now, let's see how much andesite do I get. 1, 2, 3, I guess 4 stacks of andesite and 8 plus 8. So we should be getting started here. I want to make some iron nuggets and I want to make some andesite alloys. Next one, I started to gather some kelp because we actually need it to make some mechanical belts, which we will need for the first contraptions. So I smelted them all down by using the furnace. Later on I will make a super smelter, but first off I need to make some andesite casings, and we do it by placing logs. We strip them by using an axe, and then you just get some andesite alloys, right click on them, so you get some andesite casings. Next off you will need to mine them, but you could actually use a wrench to insta-mine them, but on this point I haven't got a wrench actually. So for the first contraption it will be a mechanical press. We need 2 chests in a line. Then we will need to dig out the ground by 1 block in between the chests. And then we put 2 shafts in it and connect them by using a belt. On top of the belt we will have a mechanical press. The andesite funnels on the chests will, on one side we'll get them out of the chest, and the other side they will suck them in. So we get a little transportation system, an input and an output chest, and in between the mechanical press we'll make sheets out of ingots. So that is the idea of the first contraption. Now we need to actually get some stress units. I will use the new large water wheels because I think they give around 512 stress units, but you need to give them a little bit of a nudge with some water, so they can give you some stress units. And then I will have to connect the water wheels and the first contraption we have made by using some cogwheels. Actually, first off, we will need to speed it up all because the water wheels are pretty slow. So in create mode you could actually use a large cogwheel and a small cogwheel, so the RPM will get doubled. And then I need to connect these power source to our belt and our mechanical press. I've just used some gearboxes and some shafts. As you can see, this whole thing is working. I put some iron ingots in the input chest. The iron ingots will actually wait until they get pressed by the mechanical press, and then you get some iron sheets. With the iron sheets we can actually make our next starter contraption, which is a mechanical mixer. So the use of the mechanical mixer is actually that you can double the amount of andesite alloy you will get. Anyway, so for it we need basically a setup like shown here. We need a basin, so every items we can put in goes in the basin and gets mixed up by the mixer. We need to make 2 hoppers and connect it to the basin, so every item that goes into the hopper goes into the basin. and we place some chests above the hoppers. And in one side we will put in the andesite, and in the other one we will put the iron nuggets. Later on we can put a place burner underneath the basin, so we could actually make some brass. But now we need actually an output for the andesite alloy, and for it we make some space underneath the system by using some shafts and a belt. And you will see the basin will get a little kind of a tank. I don't know how to say it actually. So it will spit out the mixed items. In this case, this will be the andesite alloy. So now we will need to connect it up so everything gets powered. We need to place the output chest. And again, we will use the andesite funnel because actually we don't have any brass right now. So now connect the mixer by using a cogwheel, and then we place some shafts, and then we need a vertical gearbox so it functions perfectly. But first off, my girlfriend asked me for some iron sheets. So now the mixer is connected, but we also need to connect the belt. So we're just using some shafts. But as always, it spins in the wrong direction, so we need to place the chest and the andesite funnel actually on the other side of the belt. But I guess it's an easy fix. Like so. And of course a misplace. Anyway, let's just fill the chests up. We have some andesite and we have some iron. So we can show you that this setup actually works perfectly. And for later on you could actually automate this, but we will show you later. So here you can see the andesite alloy, when they get mixed up, lands on the belt, and the belt transport the andesite alloys to the output chest. The next contraption we will make is actually a super smelter, an early game super smelter. For it to work, we need one belt in the ground, and we need 3 encased fans. It's actually important that you've got 3 of them, because when you have only 2, the items won't be smelted fast enough and they will get unsmelted to the output chest. So you need 3 of them, you need 3 pressure plates, and you will need 1 bucket of lava to put the lava in front of the fans. But first we make the input chest and the output chest, and as you have seen, we use some andesite funnels so the items get out and in the chests. But actually I want to have it symmetrical, so I need to replace the chest 1 block in this direction, but for it I will need to empty this chest over here, destroy it, and make the new one 1 block in this direction. So you could actually just right click the mechanical belt so it extends 1 block in the direction you are looking, and then I could just place the new chest and the funnel right here. Yes. So now I need the lava bucket, and so here we've got the lava bucket. Nice. Now we put it in front of the fans, and then the setup is ready to get powered. I will use a large water wheel to power this whole setup, so just make some space for the large water wheel, and then you can just place the large water wheel behind these fans, and you can connect these 3 fans by just using 3 shafts. and then connect them up by using a mechanical belt. The speed from the water wheel will be perfectly for the fans to work. I would suggest you to build a glass front so the particles can't hurt you. So you won't die, that's a good thing, I guess. And now we need to connect the transportation belt in front to the power source we have, and you need actually to speed it up one more time, so it should be the perfect speed you will need to have without having a speed controller. And I've done it by using another belt and then just the gearbox so it spins in the right direction for me. So now we can put some raw ore and glass and whatever in the smelting system, and as you can see, if it gets to the third fan, it will get smelted, so it's perfectly timed. And in the output chest, all the smelted items will go in. And that is unfortunately all we have time for today. Bye!